I just finished the random number generator I drew for this year's Mother's Day live giveaway. And I want to congratulate Marcia. Marcia, you have won this year's Homeschool Mom giveaway. And I would love to be able to give everyone a little bit of love, send them my copy of my Homeschool Mama Self-Care Nurturing the Nurturer book. You can also find it on Amazon if you're not Marcia. I still love A Gracious Space by Julie Bogart. This is my third copy, so I'm going to share that with someone. I've also got, in this little package, I've got my self-care guide. You can find it also as my wellness guide on my website, capturingthecharmedlife.com, or you can find it over on Etsy. I've got a copy of an Oprah magazine specific about menopause, because most of the moms that hang out with me are talking about menopause. Then I've got a homeschool mom assessment and a D-School action plan, a copy of the D-School action plan. For the kids, there is a cold case murder with interest box. My family loves these, and maybe you can gather a few kids in the neighborhood to join you in that. I've got a few bookmarks and stash tea as though we're having tea together. Little David's tea, one of my favorites. It's a vanilla cappuccino, a gentle cleanser, a nail lacquer. Maybe one of the girls can give you a manicure. My girls would actually charge me for a manicure. One of the many things that they did when they were entrepreneurial. So I'm going to turn this around, and I wanted to share with everybody. I wanted to share with everybody a little tidbit of a conversation that I had with another mom this week. But I just want to say a special happy Mother's Day to everybody. And I look forward to meeting you in a coaching consult. If you want to join me for a 20-minute coaching consult to prep for your next homeschool year, or to unpack a challenge that you're having in your homeschool year, you're welcome to do that. Just ask me for the booking link. But this month and a half, I'm specifically focusing on boundary bolstering and relationship building for homeschool moms, because I know these are a challenge in the homeschool mom experience in so many different ways. And today I wanted to introduce you to one mom who is named Elsa. And Elsa shared this with me this last week. She said to me, with permission, I asked her if I could share this, but she said this to me: I am so busy and stressed. I have pre-reading to do for my homeschool planning, but life keeps interrupting me. I fall asleep before I even get to it. I know I need to move my body and take time out at the library to prepare and breathe. We're homeschooling year round, so I should feel relaxed, I think. But I don't feel relaxed. Do you relate to this mom? Whether you homeschool year round or not, it's a common conversation point to feel stressed, to feel like you can't plan far enough in advance, unless, of course, you're unschooling, then you're planning in the morning. So if you feel like you want to be calm and you want to be more present, but real life just keeps scrolling you by, it's steamrolling you even. One mom wrote to me this week, and I wanted to address a few things in what she shared this week. It's common to hear that you're feeling stretched or tired or just plain done. And frankly, there's a lot of moms right now that are done. And so if that's you, then I'm not talking to you unless I'm talking to you in March. Then it might be applicable. So just hit the heart button if any of this relates to you. If you're already broken, done with school, because May usually was the time that I would stop doing homeschooling, formal homeschool program, and I would go outside and we do some Charlotte Mason stuff or more unschooly project-based learning. It's kind of like the season for that. But if you aren't and you're still trying to push through, you're trying to plan, and it just feels like it's too much, stay tuned. If we haven't met, I'm Teresa. I'm a graduated homeschool mom turned certified life coach in the homeschool mom space. I write, I coach, I podcast, and mostly I hope my goal is always to shed or help moms shed what's not working so they can show up in their homeschools and their mom lives authentically, confidently, and purposefully. And yes, if you want to book a conversation with me, just DM me, let me know, and I'm happy to send you the link. The first session is free, so you can actually create your next plan or an action step for whatever you want to do next year, or if you're just trying to tackle a relational challenge or emotional challenge or some other element of your homeschool mom life, we can plan for that, and you can decide if you want to continue to coach with me. So that's who I am if we haven't met. So I got this call from Elsa, sorry. I've got frozen on my mind. I'm in Canada, but it's not icy yet, but it is cold. Anyways, this mom is planning because she shifted gears into a Charlotte Mason focused homeschool and kind of did this halfway through the homeschool year. So her instinct, though, I think is spot on, that she really does need movement. She needs some exercise, but she also needs some time away. And those things are foundational to managing our stress. I often say that one of the biggest self-care strategies we can incorporate is exercise, but it's not just a weight management tool, as some will say. It's really a stress management tool. We need to burn off tension. But here's what often gets in the way for us when we leave our home. Can you tell me? It's guilt. Because we feel guilty about leaving the kids. We feel guilty about not doing enough. Are we doing enough for them? Are we leaving them with their dad? Or are we leaving them with somebody that's not going to do the things that we do? We feel guilty. We always feel guilty. We feel guilty for wanting a moment alone. I speak about this boundary truth on my podcast episode today. If you don't know my podcast, it's called Homeschool Mama Self-Care, the same as my book. So I spoke about this one boundary truth, and it is that as homeschool moms, we want to be with our kids. We enjoy this life. We get so many memories. We learn so much. They learn so much. It's an amazing lifestyle. Also, we want to be alone. And we think we would be better homeschool moms if we weren't always with our kids. Can I hear an amen? Yes, it's the kids staying behind. Will they bite each other's heads off without us? Possibly, yes. Yes, they might. In fact, that was the bane of my homeschool existence, is sibling bickering. I share it all the time in coaching. That's the one thing that I'm like, maybe they could just stop doing that. And also, if I could just stop homeschooling, I could help other moms homeschool. That's what I actually thought. And now I'm a graduated homeschool mom, and it happened anyway. But here's that guilt angle. It's pretty heavy. And there's so many reasons why we homeschool moms feel guilty. We want to be with our kids, but we also want to have separate time. We don't want to lose our temper with our kids, but we really just want them to sit down and be quiet and do the read aloud, as I shared on the podcast this morning. But building boundaries, creating margins in our day, building time away for ourselves, the only thing that really does is decompresses. It helps us to be better moms, better partners, more present. Can I hear an amen? This was my experience. It's actually why, the number one reason why I wrote my book. I wrote it a few years before I finished graduating, or I finished homeschooling. And I was, thanks for the amen. I've always been a writer. And so I was sitting in the fruit orchard and I was writing this story. And as most writers do, they write to themselves. And ultimately, this book was written to me because I realized all the things that really did need to be puzzle pieces to a happy homeschool mom life. And one of them was this, building boundaries. Now, those boundaries, they take, effect with random people in the grocery store that are commenting about your homeschool choice. I speak about that in the podcast episode too. But they also take effect when we're having conversations with the in-laws around a barbecue and somebody says, but you're not going to homeschool in high school, are you? They take effect with your partner in various ways. And I speak to that pretty sure that was in the podcast episode today too. They certainly apply to our kids and how we relate to our kids and what we expect of our kids. And I would suggest to you that they also apply to our relationship with ourselves, which I think is the most important relationship that we have. I'm going to discuss all these relationships and how to bolster our relationships and also our boundaries in the upcoming workshop on June 3rd, Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. June 3rd, Tuesday, 10 a.m. I'm going to go into details in that, and I'll tell you a little bit more on that in the upcoming weeks. But I do want to just share that foundational to managing stress, we actually need to do something like Elsa's instinct is to include movement, some sort of exercise to burn off tension and to go away, like away. Or have your partner, if you've got one, take the kids away from home. Because at least for me as an introvert or ambivert, I found that most nourishing. Being in my own home, quiet, without anyone. That's the ultimate. It's my favorite place to be. But the thing is, that means we actually have to feel comfortable leaving our kids with somebody else and telling ourselves it's okay that they're not always with us. And it's okay that you don't always want to be with them. Leaving them for a few moments, they really will be fine. In fact, I wish you could know what I know now. My youngest is about to turn 17 and I've got 4 kids. So we've been doing this for a good long time. And I have learned that they need you to not always be with them. They also really need you to be with them. And it's always beneficial for them to grow up with a mom that's always available to them. But you need to be away. And unless you become a God-like statue or a God-like figure, you actually have human needs. So homeschool moms are humans too. Building boundaries isn't selfish. It actually creates margins. And it really is one of the best homeschool self-care strategies. So if you relate to any of those things, any of those conversation points, you're welcome to come to the Boundaries Workshop. Just let me know that you're interested. You can just say, hey, I'm interested in being on the wait list and learning more when you actually share the details. Or if you just want to check out the boundary building checklist, it's totally free. If you just write boundaries in the comments, or is it boundary, it will come up in your DMs. And of course, you're welcome to book a conversation with me to do a one-on-one conversation. And it is free. Yes, homeschool moms are humans too. I think we need to be reminded. I don't think that we know it all the time. I think we don't. I think I do think that we are the closest things to God for our kids. Legitimately, I think we are. We pay attention. We pay attention to everything they need. We deeply care. We're resources for them. We're looking for resources. We're present and we're aware. However, we don't have endless resources internally. We're just as human as our kids. When we take care of ourselves, we take care of our kids. You don't really have to do everything. In fact, I tell you that you can't do everything. You just have to do the right things, which are a lot fewer things than you think they are. It's getting clear on what really matters. Those are the right things. And it's very possible that there are a lot fewer things than you think they are. So that's what I've got for you today in the Homeschool Mom Chat today, every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, here on the Homeschool Life Coach channel. If you want to watch the replay, you can always head over to my YouTube channel. It'll be there by the end of the day. And if you type boundary, BOUNDARY, you'll probably see the checklist pop up in your DMs, or ask me for a booking link and we can have a conversation next week. I hope you have a beautiful week. And still, happy Mother's Day.